everyone! This is a new podcast called Going Goff Script. Why is it called that? Because it's a pun on my name. And I have decided to start this because as a voice actor, I feel like we need to be identified more as people who are just being people. So not only do we just talk about voice acting, we just be people and just talk about anything that interests us at the same time. Just to say, hey, we're here, we're just like you, this is what we do. So here is our first guest for the first episode, who is a very lovely, lovely friend of mine. Do you want to tell everybody who you are?
No, I'm shy, lol.
That's my line.
No, it's good. Yeah, hi, I'm Robyn McConnell. Been doing voice work for like 15 years now or something. Mostly online. But I do theatre stuff as well sometimes. I don't know, mostly just I don't know. I just do silly voices online. I don't know what you want from me. But yeah, I don't know. I started doing like things with like I don't know, YouTubers mainly, like Animated James and stuff. That was the big one that people won't stop reminding me about. And then I don't know, just done a bunch of stuff over the years. I'm signed with Foxy Tongue Voices, and they're real good. And I was in Monkey Wrench recently. I'm in the upcoming Means of Destruction and Pasta Fazul, the upcoming game Rel Warped Worlds and Troubled Times, which is my partner's game. And yeah, that's me, baby.
Yeah, you've been in a lot of things.
I'm hoping for more. I always feel like I could be auditioning more, but I feel like, which actor doesn't? But I feel like there's always stuff on the horizon that's, exciting and worth looking forward to. And a lot of the time, I think most voice actors have the experience of like, you'll do a project or you'll audition for something, and then a year or two later, someone will just message you out the blue being like, it's done. And you're like, whoa, oh yeah, that thing.
I mean, I've had projects where I've waited nearly 2 years for them to say, okay, it's done now, you can talk about it.
Yep. Big mood as well. Or even just like, I don't know, for me, it's more just like, I'll do something and then it won't get caught in production hell as such, but like usually the person making it is just one person. So it's like,
Yeah.
it just takes them a long time.
Oh yeah, I mean, working as one is really difficult. It's absolutely devastatingly difficult. That's why I get help with my webcomic, you see.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I love your webcomic. It's very cute.
Oh, thank you. I'd love you to be a voice in it at some point.
Yeah, if you need one. If you think I could do good, that's the whole point. Like, hey, do you like my voice? I can do voice for you. Hello, hooray.
Yay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. Your first episode, Michelle. How are you feeling?
Very nervous.
Oh.
Honestly.
Well, no reason to be nervous as such. It's just talking to a friend and trying to just keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
But what do you want to talk about? What's on the agenda today? What's on the bullet list?
The first thing, I suppose, because it's the first episode, we could both talk about this. Like, what made you want to be a voice actor and get into it?
Oh yeah, so I don't know. When I was like a teenager and like living with my mum, I didn't have any like clear, what's the word, like skills or like creative outlets. I kind of, I don't know. I felt like a lot of my creative endeavors kind of got squashed by I don't know, ridicule and just not feeling good about it. And just like, I used to really like drawing and illustrating.
Mm.
And then, I don't know, certain family members would be like, oh, what's this? This looks stupid. And I'm just like, oh, cool. I don't want to do that anymore. So I didn't really have a big outlet. But then it was back when Dissidia first came out or something, that Final Fantasy crossover game.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I remember it was someone I was speaking to online was doing like a fan dub of it. And I was just like, oh, can I do one? I think that would be fun. Like, I've got experience. Well, I didn't at the time have experience in acting, apart from like school plays. But like, my dad's an actor. My mum's been in plays and stuff. We're kind of a theatrical family, and I wanted to give it a go. And I remember the very, very first voice thing I ever did was voicing Kuja in one like cut scene in Final Fantasy Dissidia, and the video is probably still out there somewhere. But I went under a different name back then, so it might be a bit difficult to find. But yeah, I remember specifically, I didn't have a microphone. I didn't even have like a webcam mic, so I used a PlayStation 2 like sing game microphone that I managed to hook up to my computer
I
and use that as
remember
like my
them.
first mic. Yeah. And then from there, I was just like, this is fun. I like doing this. I don't know anything about doing it, but I enjoy it. I like performing. Um, and I don't remember what I did between that and like my first proper voiceover gig, which was like with, as I mentioned, like animated James and stuff. I remember, I think it was like back when I like first got a Twitter, and like I think he followed me or something, and I was like, oh, you're an animator. If you ever need voices, hit me up. And you know, I was one of the first voice actors he called on with like some of his earlier stuff. And then from there, I was trying to build up a portfolio, and the rest is history.
Hooray! Keep going forward. That's kind of what I try and do most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, I've got loads of friends who want to get into it, and they're like, I don't know how. It's like, well, just start, just make funnies, do voices. Like, do you
Yeah.
have webcom? Like, do you have like comics that you like? Do you, what is it that you like doing? Do you like books? Do you like funny comics? Do you like doing characters? You can just do these things and make these things. And I know there's a few hurdles in terms of like equipment and setup and studios and all that jazz, but like when you're first starting, honestly, people aren't going to be super discerning about like, oh, the sound quality. I can clearly hear an echo. Like you look back at like ProZD's early videos, and they're all just recorded on his phone. Hell, he still records like a bunch of stuff on his phone, and like that helped him so much in getting a reputation and then building things up. And now he's voicing in like Delicious in Dungeon and the new Ranma One Half. You don't know where things are going to go unless you actually start and try.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's gotten pretty far for himself because he does anime and all of that now. So that's something I
Yeah,
could only ever wonder if I could ever do. But I don't know. Anime is not a huge goal of mine, honestly.
mm,
I'm honestly happy to get any job that's offered to me. Really.
yeah.
Like I've been doing a lot of like animated stuff. I've been doing a lot of video game stuff. All of it's indie work.
Mm.
I'm not signed on to anyone at the moment. So I'm doing a lot of indie work and looking for the work mostly on myself. And you find a lot actually if you really look by yourself. You find a
Oh
lot.
yeah.
Um,
Definitely. Like, it always gets me because there was this whole thing that happened a bit ago where there was an animator who did like a Scooby Doo episode with like Five Nights at Freddy's or whatever, if you remember that. And it kept getting like recommended to me, and I was like, oh, fine, I'll look into it or I'll watch it. And the guy was using like AI voices, and everyone gave him a bunch of flack for it.
mm,
But his excuse was like, oh well, I couldn't afford to pay anyone. I didn't know anyone. It's like, listen, there's like zero excuse for that. The amount of voice actors I know who are just super happy to be involved in literally anything.
yeah.
It's just like you make one post on like Casting Call Club or like even like Blue Sky or whatever social platform, just saying like, hey, I need voice actors, and you are going to get flooded. Honestly, you are going to get absolutely inundated with people who just want to do voices for you, even
Yeah.
if it's paid, even if it's unpaid, whatever. So yeah, in terms of like finding voice actors or like finding work even, yeah, it's or not necessarily work, but just finding gigs. It can be pretty easy if you're not very picky. you know
Oh yeah. I mean, most voice actors do prefer payment, but we're quite happy to do a lot that's unpaid because we just enjoy doing it. Really.
Yeah, exactly. The amount of friends I've made who are just like, oh, hey Robin, do you mind like doing a cameo in this or whatever? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And they're like, oh, do you want anything for it? And I'm like, no, it's literally like a line, like don't worry about it.
Mm. I mean, I've done. When I started out, I was doing pretty much what I'm still doing on YouTube right now. I was just doing doubles of comics that I liked, and it just picked up traction over time. I must have done it for about 2 or 3 years before I realised it was a job you could actually do because I genuinely didn't know.
Yeah, I think that's interesting to me because when I bring up, sometimes to people that I know, IRL about like, oh yeah, I do voice work and stuff, and they're like, oh, like what for? Like, I don't know. And the first thing they think of when they think of voice work is like audiobooks or, something very overtly about, just one voice actor. I'm like, oh, well, no, it could be like games or animation and, toys, loads of stuff. And they're like, oh, I didn't even consider that like a lot of those would need like actual like pro voice actors for those things. I'm like, well, yeah. Like, what did you think? What did you think we
Yeah.
did?
Do you know what? Do you know what else is voice work that people don't seem to realise? Announcements on a train.
Yeah, that too. That too. I remember there was the I think it was the guy or the lady or whatever. Oh, what was it? There's a really touching story about a lady who would go to a particular station because her husband died, and he was the voice of that station's like, or not even the station, that he did the voices for the trains for a while, but then they replaced him, and that lady got really sad because she was like, oh, I can't hear my husband, but they kept it as him in her local station,
Oh.
so she could still hear him. And I thought that was so wholesome. I'll try and find the article, but I remember reading that and just thinking it was so lovely. But yeah, like there's train things, there's adverts, there's corporate reads, there's like those annoying videos you have to work when you're working any job, and it's like, here's your training video. It's like, oh, I don't want to watch this. Like that's voice work as well. It's everywhere, honestly. If you are hearing a voice in any professional capacity or any like presented thing, they needed to get a voice actor for that. Like TV ads, radio ads, like most adverts in general.
Yeah.
You know, it's a really big kind of industry that people kind of take for granted, I think.
Yeah. Fun fact about radio ads, because I actually studied radio in university as well with
Oh, cool.
media under media. And we did actually go into a booth and we did practice doing radio adverts.
Hmm.
And the fun facts that I learned that day is when they do all the terms and conditions at the end and brief info, that's not edited. They are actually speaking that quickly.
Oh yeah, no, I've done my share of like recordings where they're like, "Hey, can you say this really quickly?" It's like, and it's surprising. Like if you know how to say something, and if you practice it enough, you can just say it really quickly. Like I work at a cafe as well, and I'll take orders, and at the very end, I'll do a summation of the order to make sure it's right. So I'm like, all right, so that's one flat white, two flat black coffees, blah 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 blah, blah, and a quesadilla, and no order on the side, and I'll like breeze through it in a very like quick way, and the amount of customers who are just like, yeah, you got it, well. So yeah, like with those reads like that, if you have the script and you can just say it over and over, and you can get your mouth used to those sort of like shapes that it needs to make in a quick, timely manner, then you can definitely just read things super quick.
Oh yeah. I mean,
So,
for the for one of the, I'm trying to word this correctly now. Um the most challenging thing about voice acting for you personally, I mean, what's the most there we go. I've got it now, don't worry, be
oh, it's a
patient with me.
question.
It was almost a
Oh,
question. Yeah, the most challenging
mm,
thing about voice acting that you've experienced, I'd say so far, because
mm,
it can get harder.
it's it's difficult to say because there are so many little challenges that you need to sort of I don't know, conquer. And some of these are like one-time things or like consistent things that you need to do. A lot of it is just a challenge of like updating everything. Like if you're getting jobs and continuously getting them, and you have like several places where you have a CV or portfolio, that is like, oh, I've got to keep track of everything that I'm in. I need to have like one place where I just know what I've been in, and then another place where I kind of like pick and choose what I show off in like my CV and everything. And if the CV gets too big, you need to make like a page two or something, and it's just like, oh, a whole thing. I would say honestly, part of the hardest thing of doing voice work is definitely the admin side. Like I got registered as my own business, which wasn't super hard, but I did have to have my friend Trev Fleming, who is also a voice actor. He's really cool. Like guide me through a lot of the details of like how to actually set up as self-employed. And so now I need to be keeping track of all my invoices for a tax return, which is going to be in like a year and a half or something, which is in of itself is kind of like stressful. And then, you've got your websites. If you're a voice actor, you need to have a website usually, or like some kind of portfolio page. And there's the case of like updating that constantly, or like trying to keep it up to date. Part of the challenge as well is like, for me personally, I get approached sometimes for voice work, like any voice actor would hope to. And it's frustrating because a lot of it is very not amateur as such, but it gives me sort of like vibes of like this is going to be more hassle than it's worth.
Hmm.
Like going back to the stuff I used to do is like Animated James, and like there was the series Group 5 by Nick Dante, who sadly passed away recently. But now people have been contacting me, like being like, hey, do you have any like stuff for an archive that we could use? Or hey, how are you feeling about this? Or like, hey, do you want to join my like fan project, which is like in honor of this? And I'm just like, I don't know, it just gives me weird vibes.
Hmm.
Because I wasn't even that close with the guy. But anyway, this is the whole like other side topic. But like in terms of like a big challenge as well is like remembering to audition and to try and keep an eye out for workshops. It's just I think it's just the mental load of being a voice actor. That's the whole thing. That to me is the hardest thing. It's not a job where you can just like hop into a booth and just be like, I'm going to do a bunch of auditions and then hope for the best and then get some clients and that's it. It's all the guff and stuff around being a voice actor that I think is one of the hardest things to keep track of and, you know, get through to keep going.
Mm.
And that's my thoughts on that. I think yes, yes. Well said, Robyn. Thank you, Robyn.
It's like the same thing with I think for me it's like the networking that's more difficult for me.
Oh God, yeah. Tell me
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
Because it's like they say like, oh well, it's just meeting other VAs, being friends with them, and you know, and if you're friends, you can just hang out, get to know each other, and you can pass on information or whatever if you're allowed to. And then it's like that's fine, but what if you're not great at talking to people?
I know that can be really tricky. Like I've only been to a few voiceover socials, and they've been really nice. Like I've made some really good friends there, but it also feels awkward because I didn't have any business cards at the time. I didn't have like a portfolio that I could show off, and everyone around me is being like, "Yo, can I show you this thing?" And I want to be obviously like, "Yeah, sure, show me. I'd love to see. I want to see." And I was constantly impressed by the things that everyone was doing, and I was just like, so just like, wow, this is so cool, and just like wanting to be supportive, but then I didn't want to feel like I was just like, oh, wait, hey, look at this thing that I'm in. Like, it feels not forced as such. It feels disingenuous to just be like going to a social just for the sake of promoting yourself. It's a really fine line where you need to go to these things with the express purpose of like, right, I want to go to make friends. And everyone knows that you're kind of also there to network and like meet people and like make connections. But outwardly, you don't want to like explicitly be that. It's such a balancing act. Like you want to be nice, you want to be approachable, you want to actually like make actual friends, but then everyone knows that you're kind of there to make connections and, you know, further your own career as well. It's really difficult and really confusing sometimes.
Because I've always had this fear of I don't want to act like I'm just here to sell myself because
Literally,
yeah,
yeah.
because at the end of the day it's like I'm nothing more than my job, and it's like I don't want to make people think that, which is one of the purposes of why I'm putting this podcast together, really. But it's at the same time I'm not brilliant at making friends anyway because my weird autistic ass has always had a problem with that. But it's like I want to sell myself to people. I want them to know who I am and what I do. But at the same time, I can't just go up to somebody without just not saying a word because mostly I'll just stand there and just look at you and then until somebody notices.
Oh, I've been there at like parties or events or whatever, and I find the best thing is like to just go there with the purpose of like try not to. I don't know, like I've been to a few socials and I always go, I don't introduce myself and say like, hey, I've done this, can I show you this? I go to talk to people and ask them about themselves. And then if they want to know about me, then that's a bonus, honestly, because it's really difficult to, I don't know, speak to people at those kinds of events, but I know that when you go to those things and you're just sat in the corner and quiet, I want to be the person to go talk to those people. Like, I don't want to make people feel awkward or like being at that event is not a good time for them. I want to like go out of my way and be like, you there. I want to know about you. Tell me about your stuff. And that's something that you can hope for when you go to these events, that people are going to be interested in the stuff that you're doing. And if you find that you are that person who's in the corner and no one is coming to talk to you, be me. Be the person who then goes up to someone else and asks them about them, because that'll make you be more likable, I guess, because you're showing a vested interest in another person.
Yeah, I'm usually the one that people tend to approach or ignore, so it could go either way in my sense.
That's the thing. It really depends on the place that you're at. It's really tricky to figure out like the dynamic, and you don't know if like someone wants to come talk to you at some point. Like you don't know if you're going to be interrupting someone or bothering someone if they are on their own, and it's just like, oh, I don't know. Social situations are confusing.
They can be. Because I mean, they even say like, oh well, like if you're me, they say like, you're autistic, you're going to struggle anyway, you're not going to understand how social situations work. But then I go to somebody else, and I think I spoke to my mum about this once, and I did say to her, why is it so difficult for someone like me to be in a social situation? And she just turned around and she said, it's not just because you're autistic, you know. And she said there is a lot going on that makes social situations really difficult and awkward. So they said,
Yeah.
so it's not just that that's the issue. Says it doesn't help, but just being anyone else in this world can make it absolutely awkward and difficult. Because she said, because
Yeah.
people could just go up to somebody and go, hey, I'm all confident and everything, but inside, the feeling, oh my God, why did I say that?
Oh no, I've been there. I do that all the time. I've worked on myself a lot because I think when I used to go talk to people, I would just kind of talk about myself and not leave any breathing room for like them to actually talk about themselves, or like I wasn't asking about themselves, and it was just I don't know. Like even when I've been talking with my partner over the years, and like I even like learned like weird social things that I used to do that I would either have learned from like my parents or friends or whatever, that I would realize are just like weird, not even toxic things to do, but just like odd conversational habits. Like I used to go to my partner and ask like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I would realize that I would only say that because I wanted to talk about something. I would only go there and preface it with a, "Hey, how are you doing and what are you up to today?" Just so they could say something and I'd be like, cool. Anyway, I'm doing this. And it's really disrespectful and really unpleasant to
Mm,
have someone come up to you and, outwardly say like, "Oh yeah, how are you today? What are you doing?" And then not care about what you're talking about. And then as soon as you finish talking, they're just like, "That's cool. Anyway, I'm doing this, this, and this. I want to talk about this." So I think being clear about your intent when in a social situation is really important. Like if you want to talk about something, just go up to someone and be like, "Oh hey, I'm interested in this thing right now," or like, "I've been doing this right now. Can I talk to you about it for a bit?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, sure, talk to me about it." Most people are going to be happy to talk, but I think I don't know, neurotypical people especially don't quite understand, because I don't quite
mm.
understand nuance in some conversations, which does make things very confusing because someone might say one thing and then mean a different thing. And it's just very, I don't know. And then I learned some of those things and I need to unlearn them.
Mm.
It's a whole mess.
I've always had that fear of talking about myself unless somebody asks, so I just either stay silent or go, what do you do? so, it's,
so,
and,
so
then,
what do you do?
and I just
I
kind
love
of
that.
wait until somebody says, oh, what about you? What do you get up to lately? And I was like, oh, nothing.
Yeah.
I just go like, oh, nothing.
No, no, they've given you, they gave you a serve and you just like avoided it. No, Michelle, you need to serve back.
I'm
Oh,
just not a confident person. I've got very, very little self-esteem going on.
I understand that. But, you build it up over time, you work on it. Hell, I used to be terrible in so many social situations, but I think a lot of like neurodivergent people tend to fall into a pit hole of like, I'm autistic or I've got ADHD or something like that, and I
Yeah.
am just by default terrible at this, or I do these things in conversations and that makes me unpleasant to be around, or these are just things that are inherent to me, I can't change them. But like, you can work on them. I've worked on myself for so much, and I'm not trying to say like, just get good or whatever. I'm just saying like, these are things that you can work on.
Yeah.
Not just you in particular, but like anyone who is like on the spectrum or struggling with certain conversational habits.
Mm.
Like you can work on these things, you can become more aware of them, and there are things that you can do to like sidestep any issues that you might have. Like with your example, if someone says like, "Oh hey, and what do you do?" Like, don't doubt yourself. It's like someone is genuinely asking you like, "What do you do?" I'm interested in what you do. You don't need to be embarrassed or coy or like think that you talking about yourself is wasting their time, because they have asked you what you do. They want to know what you've done.
Yeah.
And trust in conversation, God, it's so hard, especially if you were like someone who was bullied as a kid or had like abusive siblings or anything like that.
Mm.
So I totally get the difficulties in like social situations with that. But you need to trust that it'll get better and that you can get better and that it'll be easier to talk with people.
Yeah. Because I've gotten a lot better than I was, but I still have my moments. So yeah. Especially if I don't know somebody, that's when
Mm,
my moments come out, and it's like
mm.
I'm the most awkward person in the room, or the most or the most quiet person in the room, and it's not until somebody notices I've never said a word that they go, "Oh, you've been quiet. Do you want to talk about anything?"
Yeah, no, I'll notice you in voice chat sometimes in my server, and I'll be like, Michelle,
Yeah.
you good? Everything good? You've not said anything in a bit, and you're just like, oh, I don't want to interrupt. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh, well, you're not interrupting. It's just joining the conversation. It's fine.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, it can be so hard when, some people are very confident or very like assertive in their conversational styles. So if you try to pipe up with something, they will just keep talking, and that is something that I struggle with so much because it's just like, oh, okay, I can't interject there. I'll just wait. And then like when it feels like it's the right time to interject, someone else interjects and they let them talk, and it's just like, what the hell? When can I talk? Like group settings, I absolutely struggle so much with because it's
Yeah.
like, right, do these people already know each other? Have they already got a conversation vibe going? Have they already got a rapport or rapport, whatever? And then it's like, okay, I want to join in, and then sometimes I'll join in and say stuff and try and like relate or like ask them about them, and I'll just get met with just like nothing, and it's just like, oh God, why is it so hard? Yeah, conversations are hard. People are hard, but you got to keep trying, otherwise you'll end up isolating yourself.
Yeah, and I mean that's the last thing I want because I used to isolate myself all the time as a kid, and I really hate
Mm.
it. I really kick myself for doing that, but I've improved a lot growing up. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, just turning 38 makes me feel a little weirder, a little older, but I'm hoping a bit wiser along the way. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we're always learning and we're always picking up new things. And hell, like me being in a relationship with my partner, I feel like I've grown stupidly, a stupid amount as a person. And meeting new friends is always good because you get to, understand a new way of a person being, and you get to understand them better. And the more people you meet, the more confident you get. Like I work in a cafe and I meet people every single day, and it's so weird because some of them are lovely, some of them are really conversational, some of them are having a great time and want to be there and whatever, and some are just like mean or rude or snappy, and it's like, oh my God, do you not know how cafes work? Do you not know how people being happy to see you works? What is happening? Um, but it's good because I get to meet those people anyway and kind of understand them and try and understand them. But I forget the point I'm making, so I'm gonna stop talking.
That happens a lot to me. Don't worry.
Yeah, I feel like I get like momentum in a sentence and I'm like, yeah, this is going really well. And then I've got no direction. I'm like, oh God, where's the landing pad gone? Oh God, oh God.
What was my point?
What was my point? What am I doing? Where am I?
Oh, I was gonna ask you as well. I know you don't remember everything you've done because there's probably a lot. So
Speak for yourself. I have omnipotence.
yeah, because I haven't done a ton of things, but I have done quite a fair bit, and I don't remember everything. So that's why I always
No,
go,
I don't know,
because like when people
honestly.
said, oh. Because people have asked me before, what have you been in? What have you done? Anything I know?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, hang on, let me just check my portfolio.
I know it's such a tricky one. Like sometimes I'll bring up voice work stuff too. Is that the question, by the way? Like what what is the question?
It's like, the question basically leading up to it was like, if you do remember like a certain role that you really enjoyed doing, do you remember what it
Mm.
was?
So it was one fairly recently, because like I think it's interesting because like there are definitely roles that I am proud of that I'm happy with, like the Monkey Wrench one that I've been in,
Mm.
but I wouldn't say those characters are any of the most fun I've ever had voicing anything. It's definitely one of the biggest things I've been in, but it wasn't. I don't know. It was fun talking with like Josh and Ashley Palmer. They're lovely people, but it was like a short recording session. The characters themselves weren't like super. I don't know. They were background characters. They weren't super fleshed out. But like I wouldn't say that was one of my favorites or most memorable. One of my favorites that I got to record for was I'm trying to remember the name of the podcast. It's not out yet, I don't think actually. But the vibe of it was essentially me and Liv Smith are actually in it as characters. Come to think of it, but it's like an audio drama, and I got to voice basically the baddie. But the baddie is basically a ghost that uses different spirits as sort of fronts for their personality or their voice. And they specifically hired me on because I can do a bunch of different voices. Um, And so like every time this character shows up, it's basically a different person. And it was so fun doing that because it was like, right, they've got their default voice, which is almost like a David Bowie meets like the guy from what's his name? Matt Berry, like a Matt Berry doing a David Bowie impression. And then like, oh yeah, this one they're like a young kid, and this one they're like a gruff guy. And yeah, it's just you, Robin. You get to do all these voices because it's more interesting that way, and also the audience can kind of like think like, oh wait, whose voice? Is that the baddie? And it's like, oh, you never know. So I'd say that I'd say it's probably one of the most fun voice roles that I've had, and that was about last year, but I don't think it's out yet. Definitely, I loved doing that.
Yeah. I think for me it was
Yeah, what about you though? Tell us. I'm flipping the script. Tell us.
it's okay. You are the guest. We're all asking about you. But
No, it's good. It's good.
I think the biggest one I've done so far is probably being in the game Sushi Ben.
Yes, I was so proud of you when I found out because I auditioned for like all the characters in that, and I was like, oh, I didn't get any, whatever. But then you said like, oh yeah, I'm in Sushi Ben. I was like, oh no way!
Yeah.
I love like that's awesome.
I voiced
You got to play the
little
yeah,
old
go on, go on.
lady. The little old lady. She's called Hisa.
Yeah. Oh,
I
I gotta play it.
got to do my old lady voice, and
Ah.
I loved voicing her. She was very quiet, very meek, but at the same time ridiculously physically strong for some reason.
Hell yeah, we love that. We love that trope of just like very very strong old people.
Yeah.
They've had time. They can get strong.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things when I was recording them with them, they said they wanted me to do the ADR with them at the same time.
Oh yeah.
So they wanted me to do live sessions with it, and they showed footage of the game, and basically what they wanted me to do was listen to the Japanese voice actor and try and get the sort of same sort of vocal tone as they had.
Exactly. For those unaware, ADR is audio dialogue replacement. It's used mostly in animes and games. But yes, go on.
Yep, and they basically said, this is what we've written for the English text, but try and like say it in a sort of same manner as the Japanese actress has said it. Like they'll say, try and sound like a little old woman, try and be very gentle, sort of, if she sounds sort of, oh, like that, if you hear her sort of, oh, like, so just do your own version of that and just go like, oh, like that. But
yeah,
none of that came up with her. It was, but they said there is one thing we want you to focus on. They said the way she laughs is unique. So, we need you to copy. We need you to copy that as exactly as it is, because the way she laughs is very unique. It's like literally three hoes completely slowly spaced out. So it's like she'll say a line and then she'll go, huh, huh, huh.
I love that. That reminds me of like Arachne in Hades 2, who I don't know why she does it. I don't know if it's something to do with the lore or anything, but she just laughs like, ha, 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 ha. And it's just like every single time she laughs. But yeah, audio dialogue replacement can be really fun. I did it once on the one anime that I got to be on, and it was just weird. It's interesting. It's a weird, different way of recording. And I'm sure you'll be able to do a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, I have heard anime dubs where they've done unique character laughs. I mean, I will say One Piece is one for weird character laughs. They do a lot of it in there.
Oh yeah.
And I've heard the original actors like do a laugh like like that, and then you hear the English version and they just go like they just do it exactly the same way.
It is, yeah. Oh god, it's weird that. I do love because like I've done script writing work for animes as well in localization specifically, and there's a couple I've worked on, and it's weird because like sometimes you'll get a line that in a Japanese like version does make sense, but then they got to like localize it and change it so that it makes sense in English as well. So like with the laughs as well, it's interesting because like I remember noticing it a lot in like Dragon Ball and stuff where the Japanese would be so much different to like the English dub. Even in terms of like the voices as well, like Goku in the Japanese dub is just an old lady doing like a voice, and she voices like all of Goku's kids as well, and they all just sound exactly the same, and they all have this sort of
yeah
kind of quality about them. But yeah, localization can be really interesting as a topic of like, because you're basically trying to mirror a performance from an actor who's already done it, but also try and do your own thing, and also you need to say the words quickly enough so that it matches the mouth flaps of the animation because they can't change the animation, they just need to like change the audio around it.
Yeah, they said it's got to match the mouth flaps, but you've got to match the energy, and
Mm.
you've got to match the tone, and yeah,
I
it
think I
can be
yeah.
hard.
I think that's why a lot of earlier animes like they sound so frenetic. Like you think of like the trope with Speed Racer, where all the characters are like, Speed Racer, you must race this race, otherwise you will lose this race, and that will be bad. It's like, oh, but father, I cannot win this race because I'm not fast enough, and I cannot do this race because my rival is racing, and they all speak like that, like
Yeah,
all like really condensed and really quickly. I can only imagine because in the Japanese they were also speaking very quickly, and everything was condensed. And then when it came to audio dialogue replacement, it's like, right, we need to get all of this information in like 5 seconds of lip flaps. And so you just got to say it quick. You just got to be quick. We can't like we can't condense it down anymore.
but it kind of condensed the acting, the skills of the actors as well as a result,
Yeah,
because
God, it's
they said the name Speed is in the title. So yeah, think about that while you're doing your performance.
it's Speed Racer. Remember, Speed Racer. Do you want to take some speed before your performance? We've got plenty.
Oh,
I'm not saying they did that.
I was going to mention as well. There was a bit part that I did for that I still love to this day for one line that I said. I said more than one line, but the last line I said was the favorite line I've ever said so far in my career. But it was for an animation from a series that the YouTube animator Charlotte Hare does. Did a animated series for a while. Trying to remember what it's called now.
Wow,
It
it's
was
your
called
favorite, and you
the.
can't even remember.
It was there it is. Yeah, it was called the Tale of El Nudello,
Oh, okay.
and they asked me to play a character called Emerald Nudello for like a small flashback scene
Okay.
of how one of their characters was booted out for a stupid reason. Apparently the reason was that because he was a Nudello who was a sapphire, he was the birthstone of September, which was also in relation to her ex-husband, who she hates and kicks him out for that.
Okay.
Which was weird. And after she kicks him out, he told him that I had to scream the line, "Off with your bollocks!" And I was like, that was the best line I have ever said.
That's so fun. I had a lot of fun recently when I was recording for Pasta Fazool, which is a new it's an upcoming indie animation from Jablubi, who is like a VTuber and also streamer and also like really cool animator guy. But like I got to voice this cop lady, and a lot of the time if I'm recording or it's like live directed session, I hate it when they're just like, oh yeah, and then just say whatever. It's like they can't be bothered writing a script, so they just want you to say stuff. Like I've had a few clients like that where they'll give me a script and then like half parts of the script are just like blank or missing or whatever because it's just like, and you just say what you want. Like you say you say something that sounds cool. It's like this is not my job. I'm not a script writer. Well, I am, but like if you want me to be a script writer, you need to hire me as a script writer, and I will write the script because I'm not. I struggle with ad libs sometimes, but when I was doing this for Jablubi for Pasta Fazool, a lot of it was like, we did the whole script and it was fine, but there were certain situations where the lady's just yelling at other cops and just saying certain things, and she was like, and Jabubi was like, "Hey, do you want to like ad lib some of these?" And I was just like, "You know what? Yeah, I think that'd be really fun." So there's just a bunch of me takes takes of me just yelling at other police officers, just like saying nonsense. And I don't know how much of it they'll animate, but I love being able to do certain stuff like that, just like absolutely go off and just do ad libs. But I find the only problem is like you say a bunch of things and then like later on you're like, oh, I should have said this. That would have been really funny. Oh, it's just,
Oh dear.
it can be, yeah.
Yeah, that was the other thing I wanted to lead into as well. What now that you brought that up, what is the biggest red flag when you're going for auditions?
AI.
Yeah.
Kind.
Oh yeah, I agree. It is AI.
I remember, what was it? I was forwarded a casting call from, I think it was my agency or someone. No, I don't think it was my agency actually. I was forwarded it and it had the PDF and everything, and I noticed the character portraits were all AI, and I was like, oh, ew, like, no, thank you. And then I was in a voice acting server, and I was looking through the posted sort of open casting calls, and I noticed that all the details from one that I just looked at was there, but they didn't have any of the pictures. And I wanted, and I remember replying to it, being like, "Hey, I think I got sent this one, and like all the character portraits were AI, so I just want to know, like, is AI going to be used in this project?" And oh my god, the person who posted it was so defensive. They were like, well, you shouldn't be. It's probably not the same one, and even if it was, you probably shouldn't mention anything about AI if you can't like prove it or anything. And no, we wouldn't use AI or anything like that. And they were just being very very defensive, and it was but
Oh,
not like
wow.
explicitly like, and also kind of attacking me a little bit, where I was just like, listen, I'm just asking if you're using AI. Are you using any? And if their response is like that, sort of like heated and like trying to push any of it back on you, or like not just explicitly saying like, no, we'll give you an AI rider because we definitely won't use any. That yeah, that's a big red flag. But I feel like that's almost a given
Mm.
with a lot of projects. Like, but for me as well, I think it's like young people, especially, who are making projects and they'll approach voice actors saying that they have this idea or they have this thing that they want to do. And then it's a whole sort of like pain to have to like rip information out of them, because it's like they'll just say like, "Hey, I've got this thing I want to make. Do you want a voice in it?" It's just like, okay, well, do you have any like a PDF document? Do you have like a brief? Do you have anything like that I can look over as like a summation of the project? Do you have any like animators on hand? Do you have any of this? And it's a whole thing of trying to like, what have you got so far? Like, can you just
Yeah.
tell me like what have you got and what do you want me to do? And they're so like awkward and tiptoey around it. And then at the very end, they usually say something like, "Oh well, actually, like I'm got anything, and I've got no experience in animating, and I have no money, and I was just basically asking you to see if you'd be interested if eventually down the line I was gonna make it." It's just like, why like why are you reaching out to me now then? Like,
Mm.
it's such a waste of time on everyone's behalf. So that for me is just like it's well, that's not even a red flag. That's just annoying.
Yeah. So I've I've
um,
I've had emails like
but
that. I've
yeah,
had it a couple of times, and it is a bit because I looked at it and I said, oh well, what sort of project is it? You know, have you got like an info, like a PDF or anything,
yeah,
any
exactly.
ideas you got on anything? And then they said, one person I swear said to me, I don't know what a PDF is,
No,
and
no,
and I just went,
no.
and I just said to him, so I don't know what a PDF is, and I don't have any money, so I can't pay you. I hope that's all right. And I was like, well, you've got no info, and you're basically no. I'm sorry, I can't do this. I'm afraid you're gonna have to.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's. I just told them at one point. I said, my advice is get everything together, get to know yourself, what you're doing. You get to know your own project first before you start asking people, because
yeah,
it doesn't look professional, and nobody
exactly.
no and it's going to make a lot of people aware of you, and they're not going to want to work for you.
Exactly. And I think it's almost a thing as well. It's like when you're young like that and you feel almost helpless, like there's a certain hope maybe that they're hoping that like that say they had that email. It's like, hey, I've got no money, but I really want to make this thing and I want to do this thing. They're hoping that you're going to be so excited at the premise of that idea that you're going to want to drop everything and just help them,
Mm.
and just be like, oh my God, no, yes, this is an amazing idea. I have friends who can do all these things. Well, we'll get a project together. We'll make it. We'll all do it. And it's just like, no, it's not going to happen.
Mm.
Like you're going to approach someone with no plan and they're just going to be mildly annoyed. And if they do remember you in future, they're going to be like, oh, I hope you've improved. Like, I hope you're not like this
I
anymore.
was like, oh, you've actually got a project now. Okay, can I have a look at it?
Yeah, awesome, cool. I think that's one of the hardest things, saying no to projects,
Yeah, it is.
because you don't want to say no. You want to be in as many things as you can possibly be in, but sometimes you'll either get like a weird vibe, they'll use AI, they'll just be completely unprofessional or completely like unprepared, and you'll be approached, or you'll get something and you'll just have to say no because either it doesn't align with your beliefs or it doesn't align with well, you're probably not going to get paid for it, or like it's just going to be an awful product that you don't want to be associated with. There was one that I got asked to do ages ago, and I foolishly just said, "Yeah, sure, I'll just be in it," without even like reading or like looking over anything. Worst thing you can do, if someone asks you to be in something, don't just say yes. You
Mm.
need to get information from them. Like, you need to like get any kind of brief or evidence that they're actually capable of making the thing that they say they're going to make. And I was in their project for a few months, and they kept just like atting everyone. They kept showing like progress from it, but it just looked like I don't know, like MS Paint style can be really good, but doesn't. It didn't even look like that. It just looked very poorly planned.
Mm.
Um, and when they sent me the script, it was like I don't know if English was their second language or something, but like I kept being like, this doesn't make sense. Like the lines you want me to say, they do not make sense. Like you need to change them so that they make sense. And they kept asking me to do it, and I was like, no, I am not. This is not my job. Like it's not my job. Whatever. But yeah, that no, you got to say no. Sometimes if a project doesn't work for you, you can just leave. You know, even if you said yes, if you didn't sign anything, if you didn't sign a contract, you don't have to be there. You can just leave. You can just be like, sorry, it's not working out for me. You'll have to find someone else.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I say, I've had my fair share of that, and it is, you know, you sometimes you just have to say to them, because it's like I don't like the idea of upsetting people or hurting people's feelings, but sometimes you've actually got to say to them, well, this isn't any good. Actually, you need to, you need to prepare better. You need to let me know what's going on and get your script double checked and everything.
Yeah, yeah. I
figure
think
things
people get
out.
so yeah, I think people get so caught up in the excitement of like a prospective project that they want to then approach people to share their excitement and also like gauge interest, but like I don't know, I'm not going to be interested in something that's not a thing and that they have no evidence that they've made anything previously.
Mm.
So the biggest advice for people who might be listening who are wanting to make projects, like get a brief, like get a plan, have a script, have concept art, have like tangible things that you can share with the people that you want to help you. And if you don't have a budget, you especially need those. You especially need like evidence that you are capable and that you can make the thing that you want to do, because you really don't want to be wasting people's time, especially like professionals who have like done things for less or more for less. I don't know. I'm getting my analogies mixed up.
To be fair, it
like
can
that.
turn out that way.
Yeah, it can, yeah. Like I've done stuff for there's an animator called Emscast who does a lot of like Deltarune, Digital Circus, stuff like that. And her animations are pretty popular, and I've done a few things with them just because they're kind of my friend and I enjoy doing work with them. Um, but like I know that they're capable because I know that they post all the time, and I'm not going to be like, I don't really want to help out with this, because like they asked me to be like Toriel and Tenor in one of their things, and then less than a month later they'd posted it, and it was like, shit, awesome. If they need voices from me in future, I'm more inclined to accept because I know that they deliver.
Yeah. And so the advice we gave to creators, but what about people who want to be voice actors? What would you tell them?
What, like, in terms of what are we talking about now?
Say like if they say, I want to be a voice actor, but I don't know what to do. Where do I start?
Oh my god, there's so many things you can do. Like,
Yes.
make funny videos. Get like a fucking USB mic and just make funny videos or record things. Like, practice certain voices. You can do impressions if you really want to. It's not my thing, but I know people enjoy them. God, you can go to classes. You can sign up for services like Gravy for the Brain, or I don't know, go to Casting Call Club and just browse through the any casting services and just like audition. Just audition, because audition is a great experience as well. See if you can make friends with other voice actors. See, you know what? That's my biggest advice. Be friends with other voice actors.
Yeah.
Because the biggest mistake I made early on in my sort of like voice journey is being kind of isolated and thinking I don't want to like associate with other voice actors because that's my thing. I don't want to like bump egos with other people who want to do the thing that I want to do. But one of the biggest and best things that I ever did was like a few years ago, kind of getting over that and actually making a bunch of friends who are voice actors. And, that's why I know you. That's how I know like Liv Smith and SJ Harris and, a bunch of other people, because I kind of came out of my own stupid little shell and was like, you know what, I'm actually going to make friends and get over my own ego. And try and share that kind of excitement of doing voices with other people, because then your friends recommend you roles. Like, I've recommended roles to people, and you get more work and you get more collaborations and you can do more fun things with more fun people, and you're then part of like a community that helps its members. So if you're getting into voice work, join communities, ask for advice, because people are often very, very open to like helping beginners as well and watching them improve and wanting them to get better. Because sometimes you see people as well who like have really potential in like their performances or the quality of their voice. It's really cool to see them progress and get better. Like my friend Abby Adair, I've known her for like over God, who knows how long now. But like when I first met her, she wasn't even a voice actor, but now she's amazing. She does so many cool things, and I see her all over the place, and she's constantly doing things. And I'm just so proud of her, and I'm just like, yes, yes, queen, get out there. Like,
That's the
so
important thing about being friends with each other as voice actors. You lift each other up. You
yeah,
celebrate.
you
You
lift each other
celebrate
up.
every victory.
Yeah, and even like I don't know, I even find it difficult still sometimes where sometimes I have friends who are voice actors who I don't know, it feels like they're just constantly locked in and constantly posting like I don't know, like a voice role announcement. I just got this and I just got this and I just got this and it's just like, wow, I'm proud of you. Well, okay, yes, okay, well, okay. And it feels I don't know, it can feel bad because you're like,
Mm.
well, what am I doing wrong? I'm not getting all the roles. But then also sometimes it feels bad because like, hey, I want to spend more time with this person, but obviously they're so locked in and they're doing their job and everything or whatever.
Mm.
And it feels less that they're your friend and more that they're just this entity who is posting about all this good news who you don't get to talk to anymore. So I don't know. I think like I'm not on that level of like constantly getting gigs and ignoring my friends or anything. But I feel like, you know, if you are doing well, like don't forget about your friends, like not in the sense of like the fact that you owe them or anything, but just like, I don't know. I miss some of my friends who have like gotten big in certain things and I worry that me trying to talk with them more or like spend more time with them comes off like, hey, I want to share in some of your success. Like, hey, I want to talk to my new famous friend now. So it can be tricky in that regard because you know someone would get lifted up enough that they're way higher than everyone else now and obviously they've got a bunch of responsibilities and you can say, oh, I'm so proud of them still, but then it almost does feel like you've lost a friend because like they're so busy or they're just like on a different level now or they've got a new friend group or whatever. So that just goes back to like dynamics of friends being tricky sometimes.
Mm.
But that's I don't know. That's another thing that I would say is difficult. But still, like if you're a starting voice actor, just make friends with a bunch of other like amateurs or other voice actors who just do it for the love of it. And I say amateurs not as like a like nah, people aren't very good at it. It's like amateur means like doing it for the love of it. I think people forget that a lot of the time. But make friends with other people who love doing voice acting. And you know, there's a bunch of Discord communities. There's Casting Call Club. There's Blue Sky has like communities for voice actors as well. Just follow a bunch of them and like get invested in their work and try and ask for advice if you need as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's how I find all my auditions. It's how I've met so many people. It's
Definitely.
incredible how far it can take you.
Yeah. How did I meet you again? It was through something.
You you found me through Blue Sky.
I know, no, but I was following you on Blue Sky for a while, and then it was only after a certain thing happened, and I can't remember what it was that we actually like got to talking on like Discord
Ah,
and
it
stuff.
was during a stream you were on with Wiz.
That was it. Yeah, Wiz, wonderful Wiz, Wizard, Wiz. What is his name again? Oh, well, their name. Oh, well, Wiz goes by any pronoun, so you can't really mess up. But I don't think.
I
I
think
believe they
he
do
I think
anyway.
he mostly goes by Wizard's Wiz.
Yeah, Wizard the Wiz,
Yeah.
amazing friend of ours. Because yeah, we did a stream together because what was it like? We kind of became friends. I think honestly because like I realized that Wiz followed me on Tumblr of all places, and I was like, wait, Wiz, I know that name, and I was like, yo, you voice fucking Ghostly in Digital Circus. You did amazing in that. That was awesome. Whatever. And then we just kind of started talking from there, like it was slowly over time. Um, and then I think I asked them to join me on a stream or vice versa. I can't remember. Um, and I think it helped that I was in Monkey Wrench as well, which Wiz is also a part of. So then I got to meet like Zirel and Zinni. I think that's their name. Zimmy. Zinni is like a big streamer boy as well. Oh, Zito, that's it. Who voices Scratch in Monkey Wrench. But I got to meet some of them, and then yeah, when we did that stream, I remember you were in chat, and then you joined my server, and the rest is history.
Yeah. It all just happens from there. It's just stuff that happens over time. You never know.
Yeah, you never know who you're going to meet, and it's difficult to reach out to people sometimes or make friends with people. And what really helps as well is when you are like cast on a project, get to know your castmates. I have done like a bunch of theatre work, Amdram, like in my local town, and not one of the plays have I just like not bothered to get to know any of my castmates. So like when you should think of it in a similar way, is what I'm saying.
Mm.
Like if you get cast in something, try to make an effort to get to know your other co-stars. So you got a bit of banter going on, or you just make a friend because you were both in this thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before we get near to the end, let's talk about us outside of voice acting. What do we like to do?
Well, at the moment, I've been big into reading Greek myth because I was playing a lot of Hades, and then I played Hades 2. And I was like, you know what? I want to know like more about the origins because when I was playing those games, they were like alluding to a lot of things that I wasn't super aware of. So then I started reading the Odyssey on my 3DS of all things. And then I was like, this is a bit much. I'm gonna start somewhere else. So I started reading Mythos by Stephen Fry, which is a very good summation of the sort of like start of all the Greek myth stuff. And I've been enjoying that. So I've been enjoying reading, and I like doing streaming. And I've been making tiny miniatures at the moment with my partner. I have a greenhouse kit, and they have like a little book nook, so we've been making those. Um, and yeah, that's about it. I love doing DIY. Honestly, I'm such a typical like butch lesbian where I just wear dungarees and have a hammer on me and all that stuff. So I'm just like, what needs fixing? I'll put up a curtain pole. Ah, that's fixed. Cool. Now what can I do? Oh, I'm gonna put up this picture frame. Yeah, that's all look good. That's me. That's my day to day.
Yeah. No, I'd love to be able to fix things. I've never been that handy, but I like to. I like to play the vodgams, as Candy Crush would say. The vodgams. I like to. I like to collect plushies and
My partner does that. My partner has like a wall and like just like so many different plushies from so many different things. Mostly Pokemon, I think, at this point.
yeah. I'm into a lot of cute and dark stuff at the same time, but it's mostly cute than dark. It's sort of like think of Kuromi. I think you'll get what I mean.
Okay, I think I know those.
Yes, Kuromi's the Sanrio character. She looks like she's like a little cheeky rabbit, white rabbit, and she has like a black hood on.
Oh, yeah, I know the one you mean.
Yeah, she's kind of like she dresses dark and like I love magic spells, I love pranking, I love big great things, and at the same time I just look so adorable.
Exactly. I look like a tiny thing, but I could kill you.
Yeah, that's basically her. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, plushes are a good thing to be into. Oh my God, it was Valentine's Day yesterday for those who listening, and this will date this podcast. But like my partner and I were out. We went to this like gallery thing, and we went through a cafe. And as we were walking through, we saw two like young lesbians on a date, and they each had a plushie with them, and one was an Espeon, and one was the darker version of the Eevee. I can't remember.
Oh,
The two
Umbreon.
Umbreon. There was like an Espeon and an Umbreon, like little plushies, just like sat in front of them on their table, and we were just like, "That's so cute! Oh my God!" Like,
Oh,
it was amazing.
people usually pair those two as well.
I think just because it's like light and dark,
Yeah.
like it's cool. I like it.
The opposite attract idea.
Exactly. In terms of other things we enjoy, I like riding my funny motorbike. I have a motorcycle, and it's like electric and it's quiet and I love it, and it's full of stickers of things that I like. It's got like stickers of like because it's electric. I initially was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put electric themed stickers. So I have the Thunder Badge from Pokemon. I have like yeah, a lot of yellow to like signify that, like a chocobo and stuff like that. But then over time, it just became stuff I like stickers from one of my favorite artists, Jesterpunk. It's got a Pride. First Pride was a riot. ACAB in the Sega font, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I love my funny motorbike. That's what I love as well.
Yeah, I like to do drawings. I like to go on walks.
Oh yeah, I
Now,
love seeing your drawings.
the art I've had to stop for now because my arm isn't doing too great.
I think I remember you mentioning. Yeah, I hope it's
Yeah.
feeling better soon.
It's feeling better than it was, but I've figured that it's repetitive stress that's causing it. So, in a mixture of resting it, I've also been told that weightlifting actually helps. So I'm gonna start doing that.
Good, because because weightlifting is like consistent, and repetitive strain can be like you're repeatedly using a very specific muscle that is causing you pain. But if you're doing weightlifting, that's like the whole arm. It's like spreading the load of what you're doing as opposed to very concentrated, stressful.
And because it builds resistance, you build extra resistance to any pain or weakness it can give you.
Exactly. Yeah, I got to work out again more, honestly. Like, yeah, voice actors stay healthy.
Oh yeah, I've also weightlifting's good for your back as well. So if you have sore backs,
It
that can help.
is. When I started my current job, one of the things we have to do is like empty the dishwasher or load the dishwasher, empty the dishwasher, and it's like a lot of like strain on your back. And I remember the first couple of weeks I was working there, I was like, oh my god, my back hurts. And then like after a bit, it got stronger and it got more used to it. I was like, okay, this is fine now.
Yeah. This will definitely date this. It's just that I forgot to mention when you mentioned Valentine's Day, that's also my birthday as well.
It is, yes. Happy belated birthday. I hope you had a really good time.
Yeah, it's 38 and I'm still breathing.
Tell me about it. Still going. When we were out yesterday, we were talking with a bunch of new people and some older people or whatever, and they all were just like, "Oh yeah, you two are quite young, right? Like mid-20s or something." And I was just like, "Yeah, I'm mid-20s, sure."
there
Me
was
being
there was actually
32 now.
people who did think that I was 24, and I was like, I'm actually. It was not long ago actually. So they said, oh, how old are you by the way? And I said, because you look really good and all that. And I said, oh, thanks. I said, I'm 37, thank you. And then they just went, and then they went,
Whoa.
you are not nearly 40.
It's crazy how certain people age differently, honestly. Like, I think like the aging in my family is all right. Like my parents are in their 60s, nearly 70s, and they both look pretty good. Like I wouldn't assume they're that old. But then I remember one time I was like doing like a litter pick, like a public litter picking thing, and it started raining really heavily. So I went for cover under like an awning or something. And this little old lady came up to me and she was like, "Oh, it's terrible now." And I was like, "Oh yeah," and I was just chatting with her or whatever. And she was like, "Well, how old?" We got on the topic of like age or whatever, and she asked how old I was, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm 20 something." And she was like, "Oh, I'm 60," and I was like, "You're what? No, no, what? You look like 80. What happened? Like what happened?" So it's mad, honestly, the amount of people who sometimes like look way older or look way younger. But I remember like because the first time I chat with you, we were both on webcam, and I did not think you were like older than 30, honestly.
I don't often like to show myself on webcam because I don't like how I look. I just really don't like myself, how I look to people. Because it's like, that's why I always show cute versions of myself, because I'm like, I want to lure people to say, not in a bad way, but in a way that suggests you don't want to see my real face, sort of idea.
I get it. Like to be honest, like that's not super uncommon nowadays. Like most people I know online, I don't know what they look like, IRL. Like I put myself out there sometimes because obviously I need to post a headshot every now and then for whatever I'm doing. But like I think it's completely normal to not show your face, and especially like with the era of just like data privacy and all that jazz. You want to kind of protect your image if you're not like a public figure online.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, although I have had times where I've actually been talked into. They say like, "Oh, come on, put yourself on webcam. I want to see what you look like." So
Come on.
yeah, and they're just like, "You know us. You said you can trust us. We're not going to judge you."
Nah,
yeah, I was like that, and then they kind of talked me into it at one point, and I said, "Right," and I said, "But I'm not going to stay on longer, about 5 seconds, right? And you just judge for yourselves." And put myself on. And when I put on, they went, so one went, "Oh, you did pretty. What are you talking about?" And then and then they said, "Well, I always thought you were cute, but now I think you're cuter." And I'm just like,
"Oh,"
and I'm just turning around like, "Shut up."
Shut up.
So I was like, "Don't
honestly.
lie." I was like, "Don't lie to me." And they said, "No, I'm serious."
No, you do look good, Michelle. I remember my mind space doesn't lie to me. I didn't get an impression of just like, ugh. I got cute, cool friend.
Just that when I get called cute, I'm like, why are you calling me that?
I totally get that. Like I'm not used to like a lot of compliments. Unless from just I don't know. It's so difficult. Like especially if you grew up and you didn't get a lot of compliments, and then suddenly everyone's like, "Oh, you're cute. I love you. I love your style," or whatever. And it's just like, what? What? You make fun of me? What's going on?
I remember I was talking to a few people once, and I was just getting really, really, because apparently people have said, "Oh, you're very bubbly," and I just get like very giddy and stuff like that, and I'm just really talking about something, and I'll do like a little voice or something. And I'll get a laugh out of people, and then randomly at one time when I did that, one guy just said, "You are really adorable." And I was like, "What?"
Shut up. American shitter.
I was like, where did that come from? And he said, I just don't feel like people tell you that enough, but you are.
Oh, that's really nice. I know some people like, I don't know, compliments can make people uncomfortable sometimes. Like I definitely know some people who like are a bit heavy-handed on just saying super nice things, and it's just like, okay, like I don't know why you keep saying these things, or just like I think it depends on how you frame it. Like
Yeah.
if you just like blindly compliment everyone and say like, "Oh, you're all amazing" or whatever, it can not lose impact, but like it can lose sort of the intent behind it.
Yeah. Because it's not that I don't like them. It's just, it's a mixture of I pretend not to like them, or I don't believe, or mostly it's over of I don't believe a word of that. It's the idea of you just saying that.
Nah, you're just saying that. I don't know how much longer you want to go on for. How
Oh
long
no,
do you want this?
it's fine. We're gonna wrap up now. That's kind of
Okay.
where I was leading, because one of the major wrap ups that I'm intending to do for this is, let's leave this for a topic and say, hey, this is what we do as people, because we're people.
Oh my
Remember?
god. Before we wrap up, can I tell one funny story?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, go for it.
So my friend Maxie got in touch with me recently because they were doing like a fan dub project for a video game. I think it might have been a Rare game or something, like Rareware. And they're like, okay, I was translating it from English to Spanish, but we don't know what they're saying in the English. And I was like, oh, what's up? And they're like, oh, it's some kind of dialect we're not familiar with. Like, I think it's like Liverpool or something. And I was like, ah, I see. And they're like, all right, we think we know what the first line is, but like there's like 11 others and we just have no idea. It's just illegible to us. And some of them were like, all right, do you want to go to Bevy House? We're spitting feathers here. And it was just like, oh, I know what that means. And I had to like translate it. It's like, okay, they said, do you want to go to the Bevy House, in parentheses, the pub? I'm spitting feathers here, in parentheses, I'm thirsty. It's just like,
Yeah.
and it was all just that. And just like, because I've got a lot of family from Liverpool and around that area. Like my nan met the Beatles because she was a Liverpool waitress back in the day. And so I'm very familiar with that. And I just thought it was so funny that it was like, yeah, we just need you to like translate this alien dialect of the Liverpool people. It's very silly.
Oh, I love that. That's brilliant. I mean, when you're teaching somebody else another dialect, it's always fun to do.
Definitely accents are a crazy thing. But hey, should we wrap up? Do you want to?
Yeah, so thanks for joining today, and thanks for a really riveting conversation. I really enjoy it.
Yay! It's been so fun.
Yay. Now, just to let everybody know, how can they find you on socials or your website?
So my website is rmcconnell.card.co. It's a card website, but I'm sure when you post these, you'll have links to everything. It's Cubics Fails on Blue Sky. That used to be my. I can't believe I didn't even mention that throughout this whole thing. Cubics Fails is my online moniker. It has been for over a decade, like 15 years now or something. But I'm usually that on anything, Instagram, Blue Sky, whatever. The only thing that's different is Twitch. That is Cubics Flails, because my original account got like taken down because it got hacked and then posted a bunch of racial slurs, and then I never got it back. So great. But yeah, YouTube, Instagram, Blue Sky. Those are kind of where I'm at. Twitch as well, if you want to follow Cubics Flails. I play fighting games. I do collabs with people. And I've not been streaming a lot lately, but I'm trying to get back into it. I've got a more like consistent work rota now, so I know when I can stream. But yeah, if you want to check out any of the series or things that I've been in, you can play Pep Pell, you can play His Last Machination, you can watch Monkey Wrench, you can watch what else? What have I been in? What have I done? Some audio dramas I've been in. I can't remember the names of. Oh, I did the audiobook for Melissa, specifically the book by Alex Gino. So you can listen to that. Or I was recently on Florence Ledger's Sleepless Creatives, doing an episode where I read the first chapter of Treasure Island. And that's about it. If you want to check out anything I've done, please go for it. And if you want me to be on any of your projects, I would love to hear you out, as long as you have a brief.
Yeah, I'll put them in the description so people can go and check those out. Well, thanks for joining us again. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, and here's to many, many more episodes. I was very happy that you asked me to be a guest, and I'm excited to see who you get in future.
Yeah, here's hoping. All right, see you everyone. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.
Chatty bye!